For me, this is everything I need. Water, a stove to cook on, a wood burner to keep me warm, and a bed to sleep in. I felt like a machine, like I was not free anymore. And when I bought the van and I started traveling, I really, felt free again. So this is the tiny house I live in the Netherlands. Do you want to see inside?
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're in the Netherlands at a tiny house community, meeting up with Gea.
We get to hear why she chose to live this way, and we get a full tour of a little log cabin, so stick around for that. And we hope that you enjoy the video. Let us know in the comments what you think, because we love to hear it. And if you want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Back to it.
So my name is Gea and I live in this community for around a year. At the moment I'm living in this cabin. We're living in this community with 3 people at the moment. We're all living in our own tiny house. When I was a student, I traveled quite a lot, and then I started working after I graduated. And after a couple of years I just realized I wasn't really happy. I bought a van. I quit my job, I moved out of my house at that time, and I decided to just travel to see where it would lead me. And it made me realize that you don't need that much stuff or space to live in. And I actually really liked it to live close to the nature, like you open your door and you're just outside, and I really love that lifestyle. So after a year I came back and there were some big changes in my life. So I ended up here in the north of the Netherlands again. And then I actually found this place. They had like a day where they opened the whole place and you could visit all the tiny houses. And I came here and I fell in love with the place actually. And then I became a volunteer here. So I helped in the weekends with things on the property, like doing some stuff in the garden. And then at one point there was a spot free and I decided to join as a person who lives here. A resident, or how do you say that? No. At the time I was working 4 or 5 days in a week as a psychologist, and it was a really interesting job, but I think I felt a bit stuck in that lifestyle, like working 4 or 5 days a week. Then you just have your weekends to do everything you want to do, like your social life or hobbies, or I felt like a machine, like I was not free anymore. And when I bought the van and I started traveling, I really, felt free again. Here I still have like my job and everything, but I also have enough time off and work here on the property with everyone, and it still feels like freedom for me. So this is the tiny house I'm living in at the moment. I just rent it for a short time, so I can move in my own tiny house in a bit. It's a cabin made out of wood. It's really cozy inside. I started to live in it last winter, so almost half a year now. It's totally off-grid. I have my own gas, water I take from the water point in the communal area, and some solar panels for electric. In the winter I use a wood burner for some warmth. As you can see, the cabin is really surrounded by nature, a lot of green. I really like it when I open the door and it's nature around, so yeah, that's perfect. So this part is a bit more wild, just because we like it, but also we try to leave the nature actually do its own thing and destroy as less as we can. So we just make the paths everywhere, but this part is more wild. You see a lot of nettle, for example, and we use the nettle for teas, but we also make soup from it, pesto. Yeah, actually it's really good. For a lot of people it's like a weed, but we actually use it a lot here, so it's perfect that it grows just outside. So on this side is just a window. That's it. So at the back there's not so much, except all the green. But there's the chimney, of course, for the wood burner. So this is the other side of the cabin. Here's also my solar panel. and the place where I keep my gas bottles. And here, this is my small evening terrace. When the sun is out, it's really nice to sit here in the evening and enjoy the view. So it's not so much what I get from the solar panel here, but it's enough to charge your phone and like keep a light on in the evening. But it makes you really conscious about the energy you use. It's an interesting thing, but it's enough for one person, I would say. This is the front of the cabin. I love to sit here in the morning or during lunch. It's a really good spot to have a coffee and just enjoy the view here. See all the animals walking around or flying around. Around us it's more like farmer fields. So here there are more trees and bushes, so there are a lot of rabbits, but also a lot of birds flying around. So here's a nice deck. In the winter I have some wood outside here for the wood burner. Small washing line on both sides to dry some clothes. I didn't paint it myself, it was already like this, but yellow is one of my favorite colors, so it turned out great. So we rent the place from the local government, so we have to pay a little bit of rent per person, around 200 that I have to pay in the month. And then of course you have your own costs, like health insurance and everything. I do have a job now, but it's a part-time job. It's 3 days in a week. This way of living is cheaper than renting out a place in the city, paying your electric bills and everything. That's something I don't need to. So that's also why it's possible to work less. I think it's super interesting to live in a community because you can always learn from the people that are around. And I like to be with different kind of people because you get different kind of perspectives, maybe even different cultures. Yeah, that's the thing I really like about communities. Just to learn from other people. Because it would be a different thing if I would live in a tiny house alone. I really like that we can share it with other people. And not even the people that live on the property, but also the volunteers that come here. It's a good feeling to be part of such a nice project. Like people live on their own nowadays, doing things for themselves, like owning all the stuff they have for themselves. And I think it's a beautiful thing if you can share and if you can learn from each other and like be more together, care for each other. I think it makes people less lonely as well, because a lot of people are lonely nowadays, and a lot of mental issues, of course, I think because of that. So. And of course it has some challenges as well. It's not all like sunshine and rainbows, or how do you say that in English?
Yeah, that's the one.
But
what is the main challenge for you about community living?
I think, well, of course, sometimes you disagree on things. So you see things in another way, in another perspective, and that can be sometimes hard to figure out if you have to make a decision with everyone living in the community. But if you learn to talk about that and be open about how you feel and what you think, then yeah, it can be also a really good process and you can learn from that. So this is the tiny house I live in the Netherlands. Do you want to see inside? So here is the table in the small cabin. It's not only for dinner because I do everything on this table. I'm just sitting here if I have to work with my laptop, but also doing some creative projects. The cabin has a lot of windows, so a lot of light gets in, but it also makes it able to have a good overview of from what is outside. This is the kitchen area. I have a small stove here that I use for cooking. And then another kitchen part with some water, running water. I have my cookbooks up there, some supplies for the kitchen, herbs. Yeah, that's it. Some fresh herbs as well. I really like the wooden style here. We had to rebuild the kitchen actually when I moved in. So we decided to use like all the wood that was still here, but it turned out really great actually. I love it. I also made this small shelf. It's from a tree, so I really like it. It suits here, so I'm happy with that, how it turned out. So I have a small light in here and I mostly use that one, or there's a bigger one up here, but mostly at night I use candles, so it's just a small light and then candles. So this is a wood burner. It's cozy in the winter to sit by the fire and watch it. So for me, this is everything I need, like water, a stove to cook on, a wood burner to keep me warm, and a bed to sleep in. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's all you need. So this is a really old chair. So in the winter I like to sit next to the wood burner in this chair with a book, for example. Yeah.
Like an old woman.
Yeah. Yeah, Johan is always joking about that. And I'm like 10 centimeters away from this when it's really cold. He was always making fun of me that I was sitting here with a blanket and my book, but I love it. So this is the sleeping area. There's a lot of stuff inside of here, so I'm not gonna open it for you guys because it will come out, I think. No, and here's my bed with some books. And then this little corner is where I keep most of my clothes. I just made this out of a wooden pole and some rope. But I love how it turned out, like with all the clothes on it. It looks really cool. It is really cozy. I really like all the wood and like the natural elements it has. Yeah, it just gives a cozy vibe. This lifestyle really makes me happy. It's a really good way to live like this. Living in a tiny house, it just gives a lot of peace and happiness, and the community is also, it's great to live here. So yeah, it brings a lot of freedom actually to be here. So this is the future project. This is the tiny house that I bought. So it's a tiny house on a trailer. I bought it like this, so the outside was already made, but the inside is still empty. So as you can see, we're busy with the construct part of it. For the next coming months, this will be my project. I think we were really lucky that this place can be here and that the local government supports it, because it's not as easy to live off-grid here in the Netherlands. So we are really lucky with the place and that we can explore things here.
Why do you think it's like difficult? Why do you think it's not easy to live that way?
I don't know, there are just so many laws and rules and they really want to control things. Maybe they are scared of like the communities or like what can happen, and I don't know, yeah. I think there should be more places like this in the country, for sure. It's maybe not for everyone. I think everyone has to decide for themselves. But it's nice if we can inspire people with this project, that people come here and they see you could live with less stuff, less space, more outside, more connected to the nature. So that's the thing I really like, to inspire people. But yeah, everyone should decide for themselves what they want to do. Maybe it's not for everyone, but also living in like a normal house, or it's also not for everyone. So if you're unhappy or not satisfied with how you live, just find a way to, I don't know, slowly go where you want to be, because yeah, sometimes you just have to do it and then you see how things will turn out. But at least that's how I like to do things. So yeah. I always find it kind of hard to like make plan for like the coming years. I just see where time brings me, but I think it will be hard to move back to a normal house. So I think it will always be a bit different than the mainstream, but yeah, for now I'm really happy here. So, well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to follow the community and our project, you can find us on Instagram at De Bloeipleert. You can see it somewhere under the video. But it would be super cool if you would follow us and see what we're doing here. Thank you for watching.
guys, thanks for tuning in there, and a big thanks to Haya for sharing a story with us and showing us around.
We really enjoyed our time here in the Netherlands, and if you want to check out more about the tiny house community, the Bleoplatz, then all the links for that will be down below in the description. And we hope that you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments what you think, and if you want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. See you in the next one.